The Love Her Show with the duo. You gotta love her, praise her, treat her right. Let your life reflect all the beauty that's inside of you. You gotta love yourself. Let the best of you shine through.
Welcome, lovers. Welcome to the Love Her Show with the duo.
Yes, welcome back. I am Kelly Fisher.
And I am Tana Gilmore. We just thank you so much for joining our podcast, the Love Her Show with the duo, where we focus on all things love, life, business, and bliss.
Yes, and so as we're approaching the holidays, this is going to be a great time of talking about, survival guides for being single. But I know for most of you who might be joining us for the first time, we should probably tell you a little bit more about who we are. So we are life and relationship coaches. We're professional matchmakers. We're authors, speakers.
Yeah, we're Essence.com contributors, and we're workshop facilitators. We do it all.
Yes, we do. Yes, all in the name of love and positive connections.
That's right. That's right. And so we just wanted to hop on for a little bit and just give you some tips to survive being single through these holidays. I mean, oftentimes, and Kelly and I we talk about this every year. We usually do some sort of a radio segment or something like that just to talk about being single during the holidays, because we hear about the woes and the worries from other singles. As we're in this business, and we've been in this business for 4 years now, it just seems like it's just an ongoing, it's just something that's an ongoing, what do you mean, like pulse or something that's just nagging at them. They hate the holidays that come through, and they're like, oh, my gosh, Thanksgiving is here, Christmas is here, and I'm single. It's so much pressure.
It is, and I think it's more so not pressure from being single. A lot of times you can be, happy and content with being single. It's more the pressure of other people. So say you have, 3 or 4 or 5 holiday get-togethers to go to, or you're going back around family or those aunts and uncles or family that have all those dreaded questions of, so when are you going to find someone? So who do you have on the horizon? And if that answer happens to be no one, I mean, that's perfectly fine for you. It could be. Or, I guess, conversely, it could, actually ruffle up something that's been bothering you for a while. Why do they always ask those questions? I don't know, but I think that's more so why it makes it uncomfortable. Not really being single. It's more just the pressure of having to answer those same questions over and over and over again. And the funny thing is it doesn't stop.
No,
I'm sorry. The funny thing is it doesn't stop. I was going to say once you get married, then it never stops. They're like, okay, when's the baby coming?
That's like the most rude thing that you can just do. And I didn't realize that until, later on in life, because I think that society, it's something that society naturally puts that pressure on you to say, okay, so you're married now. Now when's the family? Now when's the baby? And and things aren't traditional. You can do things out of order. You can do things backwards. And here's the thing. There is no backwards. It's whatever you make it to be. So it doesn't even matter. Some people don't get married first. Some people buy their first home first. Some people have a child first, and then they get married. So, you create your own path. I mean, and don't fall into or become compartmentalized on the traditions of society and put that pressure on yourself. So we just want to kind of give you some quick tips to help you get through the holidays. And so the first one is don't get caught up in the hype. No, really. I mean, we all often fantasize, oh, if I had my boo, if I had my man, what would it be like? You don't really understand that. I mean, yes, relationships are amazing. Marriage is amazing, when you have the right person. But there's a lot of work that goes into that. And what you see on social media, what you see on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, please don't believe all of it. Please do not believe the hype. Do not believe the hype, because that's just what they want you to see. You don't know what goes into or what they were even doing up until that post. So don't believe that. I mean, it can sometimes be fairy tale.
Yeah, I think for those of us who have been married or are married, that's a real wake-up call, I think, a lot of times, unless someone has taken their precious time to tell you, really what marriage is about. It's a lot of work. So I think before even I got married, I thought, oh, this is going to be a fairy tale. Everything's going to be perfect. This is what I waited for, since I was a little girl. not realizing all that it takes. It's more than just crossing the threshold and saying, okay, now I found my Prince Charming. So, like Tana said, definitely don't get caught in the hype. These people post things. Oh, I think there are some happy relationships, definitely. But a lot of times, when you see someone posting all the time, we realize on the back end that there's probably something going on, that they have to almost justify their relationship to everyone else. When you're really happy, you don't have to post all the time. But that's a different story.
You don't. Yeah, most people don't that are really happy.
No, they're too busy being happy.
So
I would say that the second thing that I would think of, and I have my trusty bell here, the second thing I would think of is putting it out there that this is your last year being single, and believe it. So how often is it that we say, okay, the holidays come up, this is the last, I promise you now, this is my last year. And then it kind of goes by the wayside as the holidays go along. But make it one of your New Year's resolutions that you are going to be more intentional this year in finding someone or someone finding you. So that means doing things to get back out there, to be found, to socialize more, to ask friends who they might be able to introduce you to, and really getting out of your comfort zone. So make a plan, put it in motion, and just knowing that you're working toward meeting someone special. So that a lot of times takes some of the pressure off, that you're not just kind of sitting in complacency and just saying, well, if the UPS guy comes up or, then I'll meet him. But other than that, I'm going to go along. Of course, go along with your regular schedule, but definitely put a plan in place this year to say, this is my last year being single. This is a plan that I'm putting in place, and I believe it.
And, it's interesting because we have a client, and she made up in her mind that this was going to be her last year being single, and we met with her a few weeks ago, and within probably 10 minutes of a party she had gone to that evening, she met someone, and they're still dating, and it's going amazingly well. And we are so excited for her. But, it's about the confidence. It's about, you just sticking to the plan and being able to date with intention. And so we just want you to be able to do that. Yeah, we're so excited for them.
Also I wanted to say that's probably more like a mind shift, too. I think after we had, now that you mention it, like our first or second coaching call together, it was about shifting her mind to say, I'm going to be more intentional about finding someone. So that's a good point. I think a plan and then also shifting your mind. So I agree.
Yes, and yes. We would say also, dedicate this time to work on you. I mean, if you do a self-reflection, what is it that's keeping me from finding the love of my life? I mean, oftentimes that's a real hard conversation to have with yourself. I mean, if you need to look in the mirror and be like, self, what is it? What is itself? What is keeping me from finding the man of my dreams? What is it about me? I mean, have I not forgiven someone in the past? Am I still holding on to grudges and past relationships? Have I not released those things? I mean, what is it? And it could be something that's holding you back. And again, it's all about the mind shift. So take this time to work on you. If you need coaching, hey, the duo is here. We're life and relationship coaches. And there's also amazing other coaches out there. I'm just saying, but we do it too. So if you need a coach to help you get to that next level, if you need a therapist, find a therapist, get a referral, get a recommendation of someone that can help you get that can clear that path for you. Because clearly there's something there that's blocking it, and we want it to be unveiled because we want you to be happy and we want you to find the love of your life. So find out what it is. Take that time during this season to work on you so you can be prepared to, one, see him and have him see you. Because before, there's something that's blocking his vision from being able to find you. So you need to be seen.
And I think, though, I guess to follow up to that, though, there are different seasons for people to be single. So it's, yes, a lot of times if you get to a certain point and you've been dating over and over and over again for years and years and you're getting up in age and just never seems to work out, definitely, there needs to be some self-reflection there, too. Maybe you're not going to the right places. Maybe you're, not in the right circles. Maybe, your conversation or something is not keeping them. Maybe you're going to the friend zone. But I think there are also different seasons where, maybe you're designed to be single for a certain time, like Tana said, just to work on yourself or to improve something. So, yes, it can be, that you have to think about, focusing introspectively, but also there could be just a time that you are designed to be single and just being able to find the happiness in that to be able to bring your best self to your relationship. And so the next thing I would say is just thinking of how your past experiences can best serve others, and find a charity you can identify with. So a lot of times it always feels good. I think, whether you're down in the dumps or you're just not feeling good, whether you've just gotten out of a relationship or, just wishing that you had someone to cuddle with at this time, or just to accompany you to some various, networking events, or, your work party, or even, friends and family who are giving things, or of course on the actual day. But, a lot of times I think volunteering at a charity, or where you're able to use your past experiences to help others, really helps to put things into perspective. I know Tan and I were just talking about how we've had some major deaths in the past week or two. And I think, it just reflects on, a lot of times we can think, okay, our problems are big, or in this area I just can't get this right, or, I just wish that something would move in this area of my life. But I think once, you have a death, or you have an experience that you've overcome, just finding a charity to be able to help someone else along the way who's not really at the point where you are can be so rewarding, and almost deflect the fact that, yes, I'm single, but you know what, I'm helping these other people, and the right person will come in time.
Yeah, and it's a feel-good moment, too. I mean, it makes you feel better about everything when you're giving back. I know it does for me. Yeah. So, you know what? Here's the thing. Go to as many holiday parties and events as possible. I mean, you never know. He
we
could
need a bell
be
for
there.
That.
Ring the bell, ring the bell. Go to listen, fold up those onesies and put them away in that warm, hot cup of coffee and those Hallmark and Lifetime movies. And, hey, we love Hallmark movies. We love Lifetime movies. We do. But this is something that you should probably do on a Saturday afternoon, right, or something like that. In the evening when there's a holiday party at work, or there's a friend throwing a holiday party, find your best red dress or whatever dress, because you want to make sure that the dress stands out, or whatever you're wearing, that it's going to stand out. But find the thing that makes you most confident and beautiful and comfortable in. And we want you to go to as many parties as you possibly can, because we want you to be around other happy people. We want you to be introduced to other friends that perhaps you may have not met before. We call them friend introductions. And go there with intention. So when you go there, pull the host over and say, can you just point me to the ones that are single, and maybe make an introduction? They will be happy to do it for you, happy to do it. So we want you to go to as many holiday parties, as you possibly can. I mean, again, wear that wonderful dress that show your curves and those show-stopping heels, and walk in with a smile, and be approachable. Be approachable. Be the first one to say hello. Let us know how that works for you.
Yes, and I think when you mentioned the host, that's definitely, I don't know any host that would say, no, I'm not going to introduce you. So you're looking for single men, but you're also looking for single women. So at these events, you're looking for single women where you can go and expand your network to go and attend other events together. So the more, of course, it's a numbers game, so the more that you're out there, the more that you're exposed and meeting people and getting into other people's networks and circle of influence, because you're looking for a certain type of person, right? Whatever type of person that is, you're looking. So you need to go where those types of people are. So you can't complain if you say, oh, I want someone who works out all the time. This person's not fit enough, but you're not going to the gym. You're not frequenting the gym. You're not frequenting sporting events or places, or even, a healthy food, a grocery store. So those are the types of things that you need to do. So when you're at these events, definitely try to get, your goal is to not only meet men, it's also to meet women, and it's also to be able to expand your circle of influence to the people that you want to be surrounded with that will lead you to the right person. I would also say, thank you. I would also say having a positive attitude, and that's easier said than done. So I think a lot of times, like I said earlier, one of the problems or the challenges of going out for holidays is, when you just go to that event, there are usually a lot of married couples, and it just depends on the climate. I'm not sure that married couples a lot of times extend themselves to single people, and I think a lot of times that builds a barrier to, wanting to go out and do different things. I know definitely in my, purely single days, I was like, oh my gosh, if I go out, then, I'm the one in the corner. Everyone's looking like, oh, well, maybe she wants my man. Or if I go up, I have to make sure that, and I would make sure that I would talk to the wife first. So it's like a whole hierarchy, and, you want to make sure that you just follow all the steps so that nobody thinks, which is really probably overkill. And I don't know if it's maybe in singles' heads or if it's an actual thing that happens, but I think that's the mindset of thinking, oh my gosh, so I'm the single person. Everyone's going to be wondering, what my deal is. I'm all decked out and I look like I'm together, so why am I here on my own? So I think just having a positive attitude and just knowing that you're going in to enjoy the holiday, you're going in to meet people, you're going in with a smile, you can even greet people with a hug instead of a handshake, and just having that body language that says, yes, I'm here, I'm looking to enjoy the holiday, I'm, not a distraction, I'm going to go and just even go up and start some conversations with a smile and see what you have in common.
Yeah, that's a great point. I was thinking about just traditions and, how people just assume that traditions are for families and married people. But that's the furthest from the truth. I have so many single friends that have their own traditions that they do with their single girlfriends, that they do with their coworkers. So who said single people can't start their own traditions? So if you love making like chocolate-covered strawberries or pretzels or things like that, if you love it, we want you to be able to, make those and to distribute them. Just give them out randomly to people that you like, or your coworkers or your friends. Randomly give them out, and that will be your tradition every year. So it's something that you can look forward to, and it's something that makes you happy. Who's to say you can't start a karaoke party or a Christmas caroling party every year? I know that. And I thought it was amazing that when I got married, my husband's family, well, of course, they're married, but, single people can do it too. But his parents, they come from this amazing community, and they would go out caroling for Christmas every, maybe the 24th, right? They would start at a friend's house, and they would go to each of their houses. And it was probably about maybe 12 to 15 couples, maybe, if not more. And they would stop at each other's house and have eggnog or have a beverage or something like that, maybe have a piece of cake, and then they would go to the next house. And wherever house they landed, that was where the party was going to be. So it was such a great tradition. But who says that you can't do that as being single? Get with your friends together, go caroling, do those things. I mean, you can even, house hop or whatever you want to call it, and just do those things. It just makes you feel warm and fuzzy, and it really puts you in a great mood for the holidays.
Yeah, and I think the nice thing is that you can, like you said, carry over those traditions when you have a relationship or when you get into, committed relationship or even marriage. So if you start saying, okay, every Christmas Eve or every Christmas Day, I'm going to have an amazing brunch at my house and invite all of my friends over. We're going to have, I know some friends who have a seafood night on Christmas Eve and get together. And then, so when you have a family, that's something that you can bring to the table. And, he's going to say, oh, wow, I love this about my wife or my girlfriend. Every year, this is what we do, and this is something that we've done for starting with 1 year to 5 years to 10 years and going on. So I think that's just a great attribute that you can bring to a new relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I would say also just, embracing your own family and friends while you can. And I talked about just, a lot of deaths in the family, definitely around this time of year. I know that a family member of mine used to work for a funeral home and a funeral director, and he said, and we were asking him about different seasons, like, are there different seasons for death? And he said, yes, absolutely. Every time the weather changes, that's when it gets really busy. For whatever reason, I don't know if, what happens, but whenever the season. So, around this time, I think a lot of families experience a loss or they're, thinking of a loss that they had around this time. So definitely, I would say just take time to embrace the ones that you love, embrace your friends, embrace your family, and just bask in the love and laughs that you can have together while you are together. So, it's a blessing and a gift to be able to still be alive. And it might, none of us have exactly everything that we want. But I think if we focus on celebrating the things that we have and the people that we love in some way, I think that sometimes helps to get through the holiday in a more meaningful way.
Mm-hmm. How about give yourself a great gift?
Ooh, yes, indeed.
Why wait on someone else to buy it for you when you can certainly buy it for yourself? And here's
we
the thing,
need a bell for the gift.
Yes. Whatever that gift may be, and it could be so many different things. It could be a gadget. It can be those Christian Louboutins. It could be whatever. But treat yourself. Treat yourself to buy yourself the Christmas present that you want, or holiday gifts that you want. I mean, it doesn't matter what it is, but treat yourself. You deserve it. You've worked hard all year. You're planning again for the following year. Buy yourself a great gift. That should make you happy. I know it makes me happy. I get myself something every year.
And, okay, get it professionally gift wrapped at that, so you can say, oh, my goodness, you shouldn't have. So who doesn't like that beautiful gift wrap is the best. I don't know what it is, but it just makes a woman feel fantastic. So
it's so funny because we just tear it all apart anyway, but still, I mean, it's so beautiful. Yeah, gift wrap it and enjoy.
It is. When you think about it, when you have, that great pair of shoes or you just brought a purse or something, it's great, definitely in the bag because you're just happy to have it home. But how much better is it when it's all wrapped up and you can open it up? I think that's fun. But that's
put it under the tree. Yeah, put it under the tree. Open it up Christmas morning. Yeah.
Definitely, yes. And celebrate yourself.
Speaking of tree, I think that you should. I mean, if you're a Christian and you believe in the Christmas holiday, put up a tree. And I should be the one, because Kelly would be like, Tana, my little tree, because my kids are all grown and everything, and my tree gets smaller and smaller every year. But this year, we don't have 2 trees. I mean, I'm just trying something different. So, if you're single, put up a tree. Put up the light. Now, granted, I leave mine up until about Valentine's Day or my
oh gosh, wow, yeah.
I feel like taking it down, but put your tree up. It does not matter if no one will see it. It doesn't matter. You're looking at it. You'll see it. If it makes you happy, put it up.
Oh yeah, it lifts my spirits. So I know over this weekend we put all the Christmas decorations up, and just coming into that light, in the corner and just seeing everything, it just lifts your spirits. So even if you had a bad day, when you come in and see all that, it's very hard to stay down in the dumps. I would say also just traveling. So I know we belong to a few travel groups on Facebook and on social media, but there seems to be a huge trend in just taking solo vacations. I mean, it's almost celebrated at this point. So, if there's something that when we're talking about even giving yourself a gift, why not go and explore someplace that you've always wanted to go to? And I think as we get to a certain age, it just seems like other people have different things to do. Some people might be married and can't go, or have children and other restrictions. And, the dates sometimes don't work out. And, of course, finances play a big part as well. But how great would it be that, if you just go and say, I just want to unwind. I don't even need to do all of this. I'm going to go to someplace warm. I'm going to go to someplace where I can, put my feet in the sand, or just go explore Italy or Spain or someplace where I've never been. And just either go on your own or find a travel group online. There are so many travel groups online. And just go and have a wonderful time. Grab a few of your single girlfriends, or you can go on your own.
Yeah, and here's the thing. You will meet so many people. We challenge you and charge you to meet people while you're on vacation. I mean, those friends that you'll be able to go and see year after year, or they can come and see you. The people that you meet along the way, because keep this in mind, they love to travel too, so you're already like-minded individual. So again, those are people that you want in your circle, people that are rowing the same way as you. So keep your male or female. So you just be open-minded to meeting new friends while you're out there.
Yeah, I think also you can't underestimate the spa. So you can do pampering, you can go to the spa, you can enjoy some water sports or activities, or take a guided tour. And just rejuvenate. So I think, definitely traveling on your own can be a lot of fun, or grabbing some girlfriends and going can be a lot of fun during the holidays. And then you're just not going to any holiday get-togethers. But, if that's something you want to do and focus more on yourself, that's always a win.
Yes, yes, yes. So we hope that these tips help you get through those, those singleness woes that you may be feeling. Don't get caught up in that. The whole thing, the whole premise of this podcast is just don't get caught up into. These are some tips that will help you get through the season and enjoy and celebrate this season being single. So we thank you so much for joining us. You can find us. Yes, you can find us on our website, thematchmakingduo.com, our social media. The Matchmaking Duo on Facebook and at Matchmaking Duo Twitter, the Matchmaking Duo Instagram. Please subscribe to this podcast. We hope that it helps you, we encourage you, and please share it with your friends.
Yes, and we celebrate you as well. So the survival guide for being single during the holidays, we know that you'll have an outstanding time and just change your focus, and we know that you're going to have a better holiday season this year than possibly you had in years before. So we're rooting for you as always. Have an amazing day, and we'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
And so that was 4 years ago. It was just three girlfriends getting together, being transparent about where we were in life and business, being willing to lay that out on the table and, take it before the Lord. And here we are, fast forward 4 years later, and, just really laid it on my heart, because one of the things that will happen is I'll begin to think, well, Melissa, it's just you. Right. You're the only one that has this struggle. You're the only one that is going through this. Everyone else's life is perfect because that's what my Facebook timeline just told me. That's right. So you're the only one. And then even though I have these beautiful girlfriends, Tina and Kelly, and even more that I know, up front and close and personal, front row seat, that maybe, their life isn't perfect. I'll still feel like that. And so here we are again. I said, listen, this is what's happened. And they're like, no, you're not the only one. We were just talking about that. As a matter of fact, we were just talking about you the day before. Like, we need to do this again. Mm-hmm. And so I am not going to fall into the trick of believing that I'm the only one, or that the three of us are the only ones, where life can just get heavy.
Yes.
And that the things that we need and the weight that we carry, that it's just us. And so I really had it just heavy on my heart to say, you know what? We don't know what the structure looks like. This is probably about, a few weeks ago, girls. Mm-hmm. I just literally put out a post because, of course, if you're going to do something, you want it to be meaningful. So I said, let me just put out a post that gauges interest to see if anyone would want to do this journey with us in the month of December. And literally within a matter of about 24 hours or so, there were about 50 women that were just like, you know what? I'm in. I want to be a part of it. I need this. Thank you so much. And so I'll speak on behalf of the three of us. We're not a ministry. We're not some organized thing. It is literally three girlfriends that have found ourselves in this beautiful place where we know we want and need more of God, and that we wanted to share it with you all, with others, because we know that we can't be the only ones that can't wait till January 1st to show up and start working on this stuff either. So that's the backstory. And we'll share a little bit before the episode is over about what it means to fast and pray. But I'll let Tana and Kelly share their thoughts about how we got here as well.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Melissa. Yeah. It just brings back so many memories. And I think that we'll just echo what you said. I mean, it was a time in our business very early on where we needed God to show up, and we needed God to show up right then. We had some difficult decisions that we needed to make as a business. We had some personal issues in our families that were happening, and that we needed to know that he was still here with us. And so we put it all out on the line. So what that meant was that we were trusting him with everything. And fasting is not new to Kelly and I, or you either, Melissa, as we discussed. But Kelly and I have been fasting together for years. I mean, anytime there's been a difficult challenge, even when we were going through her divorce and my separation at the time, we fasted and prayed together for months.
We did.
So we would basically starve.
Yes. We were like, at this point, we
don't even care. We need him to show up.
So
that's
of course,
right.
It's more than starving. So we'll talk to you a little bit more about that.
Yes.
But yeah, sometimes it does require just really, as we say, going all in.
All in. And so that's what we want to talk to you all about going all in and what that means.
Yeah. And I think just remembering that time too, Melissa, as you were talking about it. So I know that we had a lot of things going on at the time. I think it might have been our first year in business. So I think with both of us, and what's brought us together initially, the three of us, is that we all came from corporate and going into this unconventional business, and just really looking to God for a plan. What is it that you want us to do, from this point on? So one thing that I like about doing this in December as opposed to January is that, we have time to just stop and think about, what we're, first of all, thanking God for over this last year, and then really thinking and meditating on what next year looks like, not just in our own minds, but what has been, laid out for us, what's been ordered for us, which direction do we need to go? And I think, as opposed to starting January 1st, as most of the times we're probably trained to do, in December, you can take some time to say, what does it look like? What should Lord, give me direction? So that is one of the things that I love about doing this in December. And I think that's really helped, because I know at the end of December, and we'll tell you a little bit more about how we did it, but at the end of December, we would always come back and give a praise report. We would, of course, meet over food. Which is our MO, right? But we would meet over breakfast or lunch, and we would, go over what God did. And I'm telling you, I was amazed.
Oh my gosh, that list was so long about what he delivered for us during that time.
Indeed. So I'm excited about opening this up to other people, because I can't wait to see what God did, not just in our own lives, but in everyone else's life. So I know we can talk a little bit more about fasting for those of you who don't know what fasting is. And so fasting is really just something where you go to God and you give up something that is near and dear to you. Like something, a lot of times it's based on food.
So, you'll hear people say, oh, I'll give up food from 6 to 6. And a lot of times 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. That's usually like a regular, customary type of fasting. But there's so many different things that you can do just to give up, just to be able to bring your mind and your focus back to God. And it reminds you, of course, when you get hungry or when you go back to that thing that you normally do during that time, to say, oh, wait, let me pray, let me meditate, let me study, let me seek God for what it is that I'm looking for.
Right. And it's mainly about your sacrifice. So what are you sacrificing for him? He sacrificed so much, his only begotten son for us. Mm-hmm. What are we sacrificing for him? So think about what you enjoy most in your life. And that's a sacrifice for you not to have it during that time.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll echo what you said, Kelly, in reference to why we fast or people fast in general. And there's two reasons. One, you're going to come into this whole month of December and talking about fueling your faith because you have some pretty big prayer requests.
Right.
Whether it's around business, life, marriage, finances, family, you name it. And so, yeah, you can fast for those reasons. But the ultimate reason is to be able to, just draw closer to God and remove any distraction that would be. So, think about the things that you're trying to figure out. OK, I understand what fasting is, but what do I give up? What is it that you go to that is a way of escape? When you're tired, when you're frustrated, when you're angry, when whatever emotion that comes up, it could be your favorite junk food. It could be maybe your way of escape when life is just too much. You just go and mindlessly, scroll through social media for however long. Well, that may be something you could consider fasting from as well. Whatever that thing is, it is a matter of saying, you know what, I am going to choose to be intentional about how I spend my time with God and not go to the thing that is always my distraction or my way of escape or my little guilty pleasure or indulgence, that makes me feel better instead of just dealing with the root issue that's at hand, which is either the problem that you want to deal with, as well as going to God about dealing with it, in addition to that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I think one of the things that has helped me too, is we start to focus on it's good to have just write out or think about the things that you are fasting for. So of course you can say, oh, I'm just going to pray in general and just get closer to God, which is great. But sometimes you want to meditate on specific things. And it's good to be specific as well, just as what you're seeking God for. What area in your life? Is it, your relationships or lack of, or is it, maybe some family relationships that are not going well? If you're looking to have courage and launching out into a business, if you need more courage to even elevate yourself in the career that you're in. There's so many things. So we want you to also, because this is what we do, is just kind of take some time personally and collectively to think about what it is that we're seeking God for in this season for the month of December.
And sometimes, you can fast for other people.
Yeah.
I know that in the past, Kelly and I have fasted for each other. We fasted for family members that had health conditions. So it doesn't necessarily have to be for you, but you are interceding and standing in the gap for someone else. And so you can even choose who that person is. And, we would even encourage you to even get even a picture of that person or, the image or what you need in front of you every day. So when you go to open up the refrigerator to pour your favorite beverage or whatever it is that you want, that you're seeing, this is what I'm doing this for. I am sacrificing so that my life can be whole in so many other areas. So that's what it is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So now let's talk a little bit about prayer, ladies. So we've covered the fasting part. The other thing that we've been doing for a while now, for years, for ourselves and for each other, is praying. And so a lot of people may want to know more about that, or maybe they've been doing it, but I just want to be mindful of where everyone may be entering into participating in the month of December. And just to let you know that prayer isn't about having the most eloquent words to say or, fancy words to say or these, a lot of scriptures, but it truly is just a conversation with God. about how you feel. It doesn't, it's not that you lay aside. If you feel a certain way about a particular subject or a particular issue that's happening in your life, that means you go to him and you say, you know what, this just sucks, God, and I need you to help me with this. And you don't have to, put it aside and, put on a front that you're not dealing with that or not going through something. So it's a conversation with God. And depending on, and I don't know how anyone else is wired, but depending on what you're going through, there are some times that I've been able to pray and intercede for others for hours. Like it can be what I do. But then there are other times that the weight of what I've gone through, the only prayer that I can say is, God, I know you see me. And that's it.
Mm-hmm.
God, I know you have me. And that's it. Because I couldn't utter anything else or say anything else. So whatever that looks like, but it truly is just a conversation with God. What else would you ladies add?
Wow. And that's a great point, because sometimes you are at that point where you just can't, you can't muster anything. I think another thing that's helped me too is, looking up some inspirational scriptures or just things that can keep me focused on where I might not be in that area, but where I want to be, and just believing that I can get from, point A to point B or to point Z with faith. So I think, sometimes even if you're sitting at your desk at work, of course, you can't probably pray, 24 hours a day, but you can meditate, you can read, you can stop on your lunch break and maybe listen to an encouraging sermon or inspirational video. Those types of things will definitely keep you in line. And I always have inspirational music on as well, just to keep my mind, and even if it's on low, just to keep my mind focused on, what I'm trying to do and what I'm focused on.
I think that also too, and then sometimes you'll get in a rut even, as we always do. But just believing that God is the same God as he was to Abraham, Isaac. He's the same God then, and he's the same God today. And he has performed miracle after miracle after miracle. And so which means that he will perform your miracle. So I just meditate on that he doesn't love any one of us any more than the other, and that he did it before, he can do it again. And so just believe that your prayers are going to be answered.
Yeah. And it's good to have someone like an accountability partner. If you can maybe, invite one of your girlfriends to do it with you, or of course we'll be doing it. So, we'll be having this event, Fuel Your Faith, for the month of December. So we can be your girlfriends as well. So, we'll be checking in throughout the month together. But I'm really excited about what God's going to do in a bigger way, because we've been doing it on our own. But I think just seeing him manifest in a bigger way in so many lives, I am extremely excited.
So how can you all participate with us? Yes. So we we're going to start starting December 1st. We're starting December 1st for the month
Friday.
of December. Friday. This Friday. Yay, this Friday.
My trusty bell.
We are going to start our Fuel Your Faith month of December, and which means from Monday through Friday, we are going to fast from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. What we've decided to do was to just do vegetables, raw fruits, and liquids, no meat or solids, throughout from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday. And then on Saturday and Sunday, we'll fast from something that we love, something that is certainly a sacrifice for you. So for me, it's coffee and maybe wine. For others, it may be social media or whatever, but what that is for you, that is a sacrifice for you not to have on the weekend.
Yes, mine is social media and sugar. So I always want like a cookie or a cake or something to end something up with, some Twix bar, some chocolate of some sort. So that's what I'm going to be giving up on the weekends from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. But you have to, think about what it is for yourself that you can give up as well. But I just seeking God for bigger and better things, because he's an amazing God that can really surpass our expectations.
And then we'll have a corporate conference call line. And Melissa will tell you more about the Facebook group that she created for us all to be a part of. But there'll be a corporate conference call line. Well, there will be prayer at 6 a.m. on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And one of the three of us will lead prayer for about 10 or 15 minutes, no more than that. just long enough to hear God and to be able to share what he wants you all to hear and give you some fuel for that day as you're embarking on that journey throughout that day. So we'll be praying with you and believing with you. And during the Facebook group, you can certainly post your thoughts, your comments. And then at the end of the month, we'll have our testimonial. We'll talk about that a little later as we're still organizing that. But it's going to be amazing. We've done this for years and years, and it has been truly amazing for each one of us.
Yes, indeed.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Maybe
Yeah,
so more information, Melissa, about the Facebook group and where they can go.
Yeah, so we wanted to just have a way of communicating with everyone. When I suggested email, they said, "Oh, that's antiquated." So
Yes.
Yeah.
we will have a Facebook community for you all to be a part of. And we thought about, you said, well, there'll be maybe some people that give up social media during the month of December. So you'll just have to have discipline, and that be the only place that you go, and not to get caught up in what is happening in other people's lives while you're online. But yeah, we just wanted to be able to have a place where we could share with you all, where you could share with us, especially as we're leading up to the end of the year and the end of the month, where we'll be all celebrating together all the amazing things that God has done. And so in order to find it, all you have to do is, if you go in the search engine on Facebook, just put in Feel Your Faith, and the group should come up. I believe they have options at the top. You can click on groups, or just scroll down and you'll see the Feel Your Faith Facebook group there with myself, Tana, and Kelly.
Wow, I am so excited.
Yay.
So starting this Friday, we are going in. We are going to be fueling our faith, and we hope that you will join us as well. And of course, we want everyone to know where to find you, Melissa. I know it's the Courageous Life Academy, and give them your website and social media just so that they can follow you, just, to be able to fuel their courage as well.
Yeah, so for those that, when you heard about the Courageous Life book, How to Leap from Your Career to Your Calling, you can go directly to Amazon and order it. You can go to my website to learn more about me and read past articles that I've written in reference to living courageously, leading courageously, and also running a courageous business at melissajnixon.com. And that's melissajnixon.com. And that's also what you can use to find me on social media, Facebook, Instagram. Just go to @MelissaJNixon. If you put in the search engine, you will find my fan page, or Instagram, LinkedIn, and so forth. I use the same thing everywhere.
Wonderful.
Wow.
You can find the duo at thematchmakingduo.com. You can find our social media, Facebook, The Matchmaking Duo, Twitter @MatchmakingDuo, and Instagram, The Matchmaking Duo.
Yeah.
So
thank you, Melissa.
You so much.
I think this has just been so inspirational, just from a girlfriend standpoint, because it's like we have our own girlfriend here, but also an entrepreneur, and just talking about courage and faith. We really pray that it's encouraged everyone else as it's encouraged us, and we can't wait to start on Friday. So get all of your supplies and whatever it is that you need to get started, and check in on our Facebook group with Fuel Your Faith, and we'll be checking in there as well.
And don't forget to share this with your girlfriends. So if you know someone that may not be listening to the podcast, we hope that they are, you can subscribe to the podcast, but share it with your girlfriend too, and perhaps have someone else, join the corporate fast with you, because that can certainly help you along the way. You'll need some support along with us. So Thank you so much, Melissa, for being here with us.
Thank you, Melissa.
We've enjoyed having you.
Thank you for having me, ladies. Such a good time, as always.
Yes, as always. We will see you on Friday, and we hope that everyone has an amazing day, lovers. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you next week.
Mm-hmm.
Have a great day. Bye.